Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new deck music video. I appreciate you being here, and today, we're not reacting to anything, we're not reviewing anything, rather, we are going through and ranking the best dubstep of 2024. This is about to be so much fun. I appreciate you joining me. For those of you who don't know, I did the best of dubstep and best of melodic dubstep last year for 2023. And honestly, those two videos were so much fun to produce. These are arguably my most fun videos for me to make. However, this year was extremely difficult to make these lists because of the amount of music that released this year that just blew the charts. I mean, I cannot fathom how much music was released this year, let alone how much music was actually so unbelievably good. These lists for both of these videos took so long to curate. This one took over an hour, and that's just for 10 tracks. It's so hard to make these lists, which is part of the reason why I love doing these videos. So thank you for being here, and thank you for hearing out my opinion. I really hope you enjoy this list. If you have a list of the best, top 3 or top 10 or top 1 of last year that you want to let me know down in the comments. This list is purely my opinion. It's what my ears like best, so you don't have to agree with me, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on 2024 as a whole down in the comments. A couple things to mention before we go into the top 10 list. Honorable mentions last year was just 3 tracks, and I would actually talk about them. This year it's going to be a little bit different. I'll explain that more when we get there, but I have over 20 honorable mentions that I want to talk about because that's how hard this list was to make. And I also, at the very end of the video, I am doing a couple awards to specific artists. So that'll be after the top 3. So if you want to see those awards, stick around for that. You'll also see a number on the bottom left of your screen. When you see that number while I'm playing a track, that number correlates to a list in the description of if there's a video that I made on this specific single or project or whatever it is, it'll be that number in the description. So if you want to go watch those entire reactions, you can do so. And I'll also probably be letting you know that this, like, the entire EP is good or the entire album is good. There's a lot of these songs that I pulled off of projects that are honestly just really good as an entire listen, so I will be letting you know, and that's what that number in the bottom left means. Without further ado, let's jump in. Number 10 is a man and an artist that I so appreciate and I so respect. He made the list last year, I believe, more than once, and this year he's done it again. Number 10 goes to Stay Tuned by Deviate. I love Deviate for his sound choices and how unique his music sounds. And in this song, it's no exception to that. So unique. I mean, the idea is just something that's so cool, and he just has his own sound. I've never heard this kind of sound anywhere else. I love the glitchy rhythm. I can't get enough of Deviate, and that's why this is number 10. Number 9 on the list is a track and also a project that I listened to recently on my Christmas trip when I went to Florida. And this was an EP that I overlooked for several months, also because I had to kind of leave the content scene for a little bit to prioritize other things going on in my life. And this EP was a project that I overlooked. And so as I was going through projects that I knew I wasn't going to make videos on, but I wanted to go back and listen to them, I found this track and realized how much of a banger this one was. This made the list as number 9 for the sole reason of how unique it is. I have never heard a song with as cool of a progression as this for a rhythm track. It is, the sounds are unique, the flow is unique, the progression is unique. Everything about this is super cool. Not to mention, I just love that this artist kind of came back. I haven't seen this artist's name in a very long time, since 2021. And so now that they're back, it was kind of cool to see, and I hate that I overlooked it. But number 9 goes to ZX3 by Claybrook. I would argue one of the most unique rhythm tracks of this year. This is the progression I'm talking about right here. Let's hear the switch. This switch is such a great take on the original idea. I love this song because it's so unique. The sound is unique and the progression, you just cannot not head bop. You know what I mean? That's why this is number 9. Number 8 goes to a track I didn't think I would like. And I started listening to the full project over and over, especially while editing the video several months after I first listened to it. And I realized how good this track actually was. I loved another track on this project for quite some time, and I still love it. It's still in my best of dubstep playlist. But this one, I was listening to the other one more, and then I'd come back to this one. I'm like, oh, wait, this one has some really cool ideas too that I kind of overlooked in my first few listens. And that's why it's number 8, because it's just unique. And I really like the combination of the two artists who collabed on this track. Number 8 goes to Dea and Akios with Soulful. For me, Akios usually never fails to deliver something amazing in the dubstep scene. And then combined with a lot of Dea's sounds, I think the two make a really good pair. Gosh. I have something in my eye. What the heck? What an amazing switch. That is just a switch. Let's listen to the second drop. Staying within the idea, but that amount of change makes this track so much better. Wow. Like, arguably, I like the second drop more than the first, but the first is still, it hits, you know? Yeah. That's why this is number 8. Number 7 is going to a track that took me a couple listens to realize that it was actually a heavy dubstep track and not a melodic dubstep track. Even though it kind of comes off as a melodic at first, you also look at the artist and be like, he's made mostly melodic. But he can also make some of the grimiest, dirtiest, deepest dubstep out there, especially with one of his EPs released on Malignant. This track blew me out of the water, and I don't know what else to say about it. It's the artist put his uniqueness into it, and there's nothing else like it, simply put. Number 7 is Station 2 by Kenodo. I mean, you listen to this opening, and you get the Kenodo vibes, and you get a more melodic feel. It feels really good. And then this starts to happen. Where is this going? There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. and it really hits the spot, but it keeps that Kenoto fluttery sounds and stuff, and I absolutely love it. Number 6 is going to a track that I completely forgot about for several months. This entire EP actually fell through the cracks when I was updating all of my playlists, which I only do maybe once a month or once every 2 months, where I go through after adding a bunch of stuff to my library, I'll go through and add it to its respective playlist. This somehow fell through the cracks, and it didn't get added to my best heavy dubstep playlist that I've got on Spotify. And if you're curious at looking at that, it's public. So this project fell through the cracks, and I went back to it twice throughout the course of the year since I had listened to it the first time, and both times I sat on it for weeks thinking this is one of the best tracks out there right now, and it kind of still stands to that. It really does. This is probably number 1 from this artist for me in about 2 years, even though he's released a lot of tracks on Disciple Roundtable and a couple other labels. He just creates some of the best ambiance within the dubstep scene. And this is my favorite track from him. Number 6 goes to Gravel in Your Heart by Muerte. I mean, you already hear the ambiance. This track, yes, it has an orchestra, but it'll make you mosh. And I love it. Number 5 is an artist I've respected for a long time. One of my favorite, I have been saying my favorite dubstep artist of all time. I don't know if that still stands after this year because so much has released and I've been made aware of so many new artists. But the point is, he still made it on this list because one of these tracks is just unbelievable. Number 5 goes to, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. When we get higher up this list, I just get more and more speechless. So I'll just play the tracks, man. Number 5 goes to Dead Champions by Sisto. Champions. This build, Sisto always does unique builds, but this one's something else. Let me also just say this track can probably be one of the best tracks to double this year. I mean, so many people have done doubles to this track and triples, but Sisto in his CST set did a double that he's been doing with this track. Yeah, and I don't even know if it's a double. It might even be a remix. The point is, it's so versatile. This track is so versatile, and I love it. I love it. Champions. I'm still speechless. I don't know what to say about this track. When I first heard that this EP was coming out, I lost my marbles. When I heard the EP for the first time, I lost my marbles. I even hit my hand on my desk so hard I woke up with a bruise on it the next day. For OGs, you might already know what I'm talking about. This track just bewildered me, and it still does. I'm a beginner music producer, but I have learned industry secrets, some, definitely not all, but some, and I can kind of pick up on a few things now, producer talk and stuff. This track still bewilders me. I'll listen to it and I'm like, what the heck is he doing to get that sound? It's just beyond me. It really is. And I have so much respect for this artist because of the intentionality that he puts into every single one of his tracks and projects. Number 4 goes to Toxic If Swallowed by Joe B. I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'm really not. The amount of off beats. We've come to the point where we're not going to go into the top 3 yet, but first we're going to go through our honorable mentions, which is quite a bunch. Here's how this is going to work. Because I want to play these tracks for you, because I know a lot of people actually find new tracks that released last year through these videos. I want to play a snippet of each of these, but I'm not going to be able to talk about them. So what's going to happen is I'm going to play exactly 10 seconds of each track. So it'll only come out to a few minutes. Everything will be on screen for you, and I hope you enjoy these honorable mentions. These are honorable mentions because they almost made the list. Some of them were on the list before getting bumped out. So that's why they're honorable mentions. It looks like a lot, and it kind of looks like that every track that I just love this year is on this list, but it's not, I promise. So here we go.
knife of kraut.
Dubstep.
I'm gonna get back when I feel like you know I don't play right. I'll put up a good fight. Just give me the word. It's gonna get personal.
And that, my friends, is all of the honorable mentions. That was a lot. I don't know how much that was, but if you enjoyed any of those, obviously, same rules apply with the whole number thing in the videos. That was a lot of honorable mentions, but all of those songs at some point in the year were played on repeat. All of them. And I love them. So now it is time for the top three. I really don't know what to say about these top three. I really don't. This third one I have a little bit, but the top two, I mean, they're just there and hanging out. Number three goes to a track I really didn't think was special at the time. I thought it was another EP, another track on another EP from Malignant that was good, but something I wouldn't come back to. Over the course of the year, though, I found myself coming back to this entire EP multiple times. I mean, for a while, too. And this was one of my favorites off of the EP. Probably my favorite because it's here and not the others. But it took me a while to realize which one was my favorite. And I love them all uniquely and differently. Number three, I would say this is probably going to be a shock to a lot of you, considering it beat out Joe B and Muerte and, Deviate. But number three goes to Chirp by Eugene. Something about his sound and the way he delivers this song and just the idea, all of the things combined to make this deep sounding track. Number two goes to a track that I know all of you love. All of you. If there's someone here that has not heard this EP, let me introduce you to one of the EPs of the year. There is nothing to say about this track. It has the uniqueness of both artists on here, and it executes unbelievably well. There is nothing to say about these last two tracks. This is Fish Out of Water with Deviate in Noir.
You gotta be one stupid
I feel like it breaks, but it doesn't at the same time. It's weird. Oh, God. Here's the switch.
You gotta be one stupid.
Nothing. Second drop.
Good, I was getting bored. There you go.
I forgot about that. Number one. I mean, I wish I had something to say to build, suspense and intensity, but I don't. This EP was my first time knowing of this artist. I listened to the preview on Instagram, lost my marbles. Listened to the EP on stream, lost my marbles, along with everyone else. This track is number one for 2024. Faith by Kaifu. One of the best, I'm not even saying one of, it is the best tear out songs in a long time for me. And that's just the first drop. Let's take a look at the second. There you have it. 2024 in a top 10 list. And I'm scared for 2025, chat. I'm not going to lie. I'm scared for 2025. There's already been announced things that are coming, and it's January. I mean, we already have another Beast Boy album, a Phonic album, Cloudy album 2025 is coming. We're cooked. I have 4 awards to give away. I have an Artist of the Year award, Compilation of the Year, Album of the Year, and EP of the Year. Yeah, this is going to be good. For the Projects of the Year, not the Artist of the Year, but Compilation, Album, and EP, I got to my conclusion based on the entirety of the project. If you watch my reaction videos, you know that I look for specific things within each track, and those things can vary. But usually it's specific things. Execution, sounds, delivery, progression, idea, those things. Those are usually the bigger ones. And so I put all of those and put them up against projects as a whole. And that is how I got to these destinations. For the EP of the year, I almost gave it away earlier. EP of the year is Blood Clot EP by Deviate. The entire thing is great. Entire thing. For the album of the year, people were saying Sizzy, album of the year, when Sizzy came out in July, I think, or June. Which, I mean, for some people, that's probably not wrong. And that's actually the reason why I wanted to do these awards, because I wanted to give my take on this. But in my opinion, album of the year goes to Beast Boy, Wings and Fangs. I saved 14 out of 15 tracks, and that's just because one of the tracks I didn't like the genre. Not even, like, that's my own fault, not his. That entire album for 15 tracks as well. I mean, top notch. For compilation of the year, I will admit I didn't listen to a whole lot of compilations this year. But for the ones that I did, in my opinion, compilation of the year goes to Sui Generis Volume 7. I mean, 80% of this compilation was amazing, and there was only a couple tracks that I thought could use some work, but most of the tracks I didn't like were from my own likings of music. Sui Generis and Full Flex Audio, they always put out quality stuff, and that's why it's compilation of the year. And last but not least, we have Artist of the Year. Here's what went into Artist of the Year. I looked at how many releases they did. I looked at the quality of those releases, as well as the quantity. Not as much, but quality over quantity for me for sure. However, people who only released 1 or 2 singles this year are not making Artist of the Year. I also looked at their socials, Instagram, Twitter, their promotion, their marketing and promotion. That is a big key of being an artist nowadays, and so I looked at that. And there were several artists that I actually considered for this. However, I have to give it to the person who I think, and who I've also personally talked to. I have heard their experiences, and I know what they go through to get where they are now. And in my opinion, Artist of the Year goes to Splitter. Splitter has not only produced quite a good amount of music this year. Each of those projects and tracks in their own right are top-notch quality. Each track has its own universe of sound. Each project has its own universe. We had the Full Flavor EP that was completely radio themed. We had the new EP that obviously didn't go into consideration because it was 2025, but the new EP, For Your Mind, had its own universe type thing. Give me a moment, there's more. The singles that he released, Nerf This, Groove Tempo, Skunk Beat, Get On My Level, and Take Me on Exabolt Worlds Volume 1, they all had their own universe and they stuck in that theme. Splitter has done a phenomenal job with releasing quality music and releasing quite a bit of it. Let's actually look. 1 single, 2 single, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Technically, he released 9 singles last year. 2 of them went into the EP that was released this year called For Your Mind. And he also released an EP on Circus Records called Full Flavor, a 4-track EP that was just shy of 17 minutes. That's a lot of music, folks. That's a lot of music. And just the quality of them all, too, is unbelievable. But what really gave me the kicker for Splitter was the marketing. This man does the most amount of marketing for any track I have ever seen. I mean, he releases like 5 reels per track. It's insane. I mean, he did so much marketing for Get On My Level, Groove Tempo, Nerf This. Oh my gosh, I got them on every single platform multiple times for Nerf This, and it was killing me that I couldn't listen to it because I was away from content. Splitter has done a fantastic job with quality, with quantity, and with marketing. And that is why Splitter, in my opinion, is the Artist of the Year. And there you have it. That is the best of Dubstep 2024. Thank you for watching. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I would love to hear them. I will have best of melodic dubstep out in a couple days. I'm going to go record that video now. And I'll see you soon. Peace.